Last year fall, I went to Nagoya and Tokyo. I had some delicious food, stayed at the coziest hotel, and visited Ghibli Park. I hope you enjoy some cozy vibes, and I'm happy to share some of our travel memories with you. We flew in from Busan, Korea to Osaka, and then we took the bus to Osaka Station, where we had dashi chazuke before taking the Shinkansen to Nagoya. It was such a delicious, comforting meal. It was one of our favorites of the whole trip. We checked into our hotel, Lamplight Books Hotel. It's a small boutique hotel that has a book theme. There's a cafe, library, and sitting area in the lobby. You can read your own book or read one of theirs if you read Japanese. In the room itself, there's a little reading nook and books on display. They give you little pajamas, which I wore and took the best nap. That evening, we walked across the street to a famous barbecue eel restaurant that I reserved in advance. When they barbecue the eel, the sauce caramelizes and the outer layer gets this really delicate crisp. I've tried barbecue eel in Canada, but it was nothing like this. It was served with rice, a small chazuke, pickles, and toppings. The next morning, we bought coffee and cookies at the lobby cafe and read for a bit. I read If Cats Disappeared from the World. Honestly, it was a bit disappointing. If you're looking for a cozy book to read while you're in Japan, then one of my favorites is Before the Coffee Gets Cold. Later that morning, we took the subway down to Ghibli Park. Even the subway station had all these cute graphics everywhere.
We will soon make a brief stop at Hanamizuki North.
I was pleasantly surprised to see so much nature there. There was large open fields, tons of trees. As you walk in, you could start to notice those iconic buildings in between all of the nature. Right away, I noticed the gates from Spirited Away, the house from Whisper of the Heart, The park has different areas and so much to see. We only had time to explore a few of them. We started with the Valley of Witches. This area has buildings like the bakery from Kiki's delivery service. You can buy bread there, which is cute, but the bread itself was just okay. There's Sophie's hat shop and they sell hats there, which is really cute. The Scarecrow from Howl's Moving Castle. Howl's Castle was so cool. It had steam and engine sounds outside. Inside, it was exactly like the movie, if not more. They really brought it to life and it was so magical. There was no filming allowed inside though. There's a shop called The Witch Coven. I bought this Kiki bow with Gigi sitting in the middle and this sun catcher with Kiki too. And my husband bought a little Heen keychain. We pre-booked our ticket for the Ghibli Grand Warehouse, which is filled with different exhibits and displays, and they even have like short movies playing. There's Yubaba's office. The train with no face where you can take pictures. The cat bus from Totoro. The robot from Castle in the Sky. And there's this huge area for Arrietty's world, which was so cool. Everything was scaled up so you feel like you're Arrietty.
Yeah. Oh, it's their whole climbing system. Leading up to our trip, we watched as many Ghibli films as we could. I'm so glad we did because it was fresh in our minds. So as we were walking through, we were constantly like, oh, that's from that movie. Oh, isn't that from that movie? And it just made the experience so fun, and it really made it feel like we were seeing these characters and these worlds come to life. After a few hours, we had to leave and take our Shinkansen to Tokyo. We actually almost missed our train. We made it just in the nick of time. We were taking a break at a cafe at the station, just resting our legs, and we lost track of time reading our books. But luckily we made it and we got to Tokyo. After a very stressful evening, we enjoyed a slow morning at a cafe reading until lunch.
and we walked over to the Parco building, which is like a department store. It has a bunch of different restaurants and stores. We came for this conveyor belt sushi restaurant, but I'm not sure why they weren't actually using the conveyor belt, which was kind of disappointing. Every station had this hot water and green tea though, which was really cool. Within the same building, you have the Pokemon Center, Nintendo Shop, Shonen Jump. The full-scale Mewtwo was really cool. Did any of you watch that Pokemon movie years ago when they would air it on TV and Ash turns to stone? So iconic, so sad. I rewatched it recently and I still cried at that scene. I remember as a kid thinking that this movie was really scary, and rewatching it as an adult, it was still scary and creepy. My husband booked a jean workshop with Betty Smith, and because Japan is famous for their denim, we thought it was a cool souvenir to bring back. They have different styles and sizes, and they tailor it for you on the spot. Then you can choose different buttons and patches to personalize it.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by, it doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again?
We visited Lost, which is a bar in Shibuya. It's by the YouTuber Chris Broad, or Abroad in Japan. He makes content about traveling to Japan, and during the pandemic, my husband and I were just obsessed with his videos, so we were excited to drop by here. Honestly, by this point, we were just so exhausted. We were only there for maybe 30 or 40 minutes. We just kind of enjoyed the ambiance and chatted and had a few snacks, and then we headed back to our hotel room to get a good sleep.
If I could take you back to my youth and show you what I wish I knew, my will is strong with a place to lean. In the moment I hung desperately, the other ring on my wrist is gold, pairing with the light it holds. When I return from my skin and bones, I'm remembering the words you told me. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all, I had a feeling but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all, I had a feeling but the feeling is all gone.
Beside the Teamlab exhibit, there's this fancy dashi store, and we picked up a few dashi packs. We love cooking at home, so it was a really nice treat. Since coming home, we've been using it often. It has a really savory, smoky taste that is a good backdrop to soups. And we also tried making dashi chazuke, which was the dish we had earlier in this video in Nagoya, and it was really delicious. We dropped by the Kappabashi area where they sell kitchenware and tableware. We didn't buy much because I was concerned with the plates and bowls breaking, but there were so many cute things. We walked to our lunch reservation, which is this kind of famous tempura restaurant. It was so hot out, and after all that walking, a beer with fried food, it was so good. The inside is tiny, it only fit about 8 guests in total, but it felt like you were in someone's house with the calendar and the TV. I really liked this vibe, and the tempura is made fresh in small batches. It was so good. I know these videos are a little different from my usual vlogs, but I hope you still enjoy these, and I'll be back with my regular vlogs very soon. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye! Hello. I'm back with another book review for the book that I read on this stretch of the trip. And that book was If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kawamura. And I sort of mentioned it in the beginning of the video, but I did not enjoy this book. I found it so frustrating to read. To be honest, I picked this up purely because of the title and the cover. And I had seen very brief reviews online just talking about how they really enjoyed it, but I don't get it. It was so frustrating to read. So this book is about this guy. He's been working and kind of lost himself to the everyday grind of just working, living to work. Suddenly he finds out that he only has a few more days to live. And that's when the devil approaches him and offers to make a deal. If you decide to sacrifice one thing from this world, then I will give you 1 day of extra life. So he accepts, and he slowly starts to get rid of things in exchange for an extra day. So he starts off by getting rid of cell phones. There's not really any major social commentary regarding that. It just kind of happens and then they move on. So one of the things I was kind of annoyed by was it's not about cats. And I got this book because I thought it was about cats and that special bond that a pet owner, but specifically a cat owner, has with their cat. And yeah, it's just special to me as a cat owner. And I thought that they would talk about that a little more, but they touch on it a little bit, but not in the way that I thought they would. It was just kind of one of the chapters, and even the way that he does it, it's not, in my opinion, it was not great. It was kind of shallow. Oops. And the other thing I found super frustrating and annoying was I felt like the character was just super selfish. And I tried to appreciate the context of the story and the writing. Like I said, I understand that in the culture, in Japanese culture, you're constantly on that grind of working crazy hours, and maybe years of your life just flash by because all you're doing is working, eating, sleeping, working, eating, sleeping. And then when death comes at your door, what do? But again, just the writing and the characters, I just didn't understand it. One of the other things he gets rid of is movies. But again, it's such a selfish choice that I couldn't understand why he got rid of them, because his best friend and his ex-lover are both really into movies, and their whole life, revolves around movies. His best friend works at like a Blockbuster, and his ex-lover works at like a movie theater, which also has significance to their past relationship. So I understand that the writer is using, getting rid of movies as like the catalyst to engaging with his best friend and his ex-lover who he lost touch with. But why is he getting rid of these things if these people who he cares about still cares about these things? I just cannot comprehend it. Another thing is with his parents. So his mom and dad, he had a good relationship with his mom, but a bad relationship with his dad. His dad owns like a clock shop where he repairs clocks and watches and stuff. So clocks is a very significant thing for his mom and dad. And maybe there is significance in getting rid of clocks to get rid of like some of the trauma, emotional trauma that he might have. But if he's trying to make amends with his dad, I don't understand why he gets rid of clocks if clocks are important to his dad. And for his dad too, you know, maintaining the clocks and the watches is important for keeping the memory of his mom in a way. So yeah, I just couldn't understand it, and I found it really selfish and really frustrating to read. So that being said, I have a few other book recommendations that if you were kind of like me and you were wanting sort of a quaint and cozy read, because it's nice to break things up, in my opinion, to read something maybe a little heavier and a little lighter. So I've got a few here in that category. One of my favorites is Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I think a lot of people have read this already, but if you haven't, yeah, I really enjoy this one if you're into that sort of cozy and quiet type of book. If you're not familiar with this one, it's a series of short stories that take place in this sort of magical cafe. There's a seat in the cafe where it allows you to go back in time or into the future for a very brief period of time. And you're not able to change anything about the past or the future, but it allows you to heal through your grief by engaging with someone from the past or the future. Yeah, it's kind of a sad series of stories. Like I said, it's about grief and dealing with that. For some people, it might be a little too slow, but this is one that I reread, and every time I read it, I cry. And I really love this one. Next, I have Days at the Morisaki Bookshop. This one's a really quick one. I think this is quite popular as well. This one is about a young woman who breaks up with her boyfriend and moves into her uncle's bookshop. Upstairs, he has like an apartment where she lives, and she familiarizes herself with her uncle and her community. I think most importantly, it was about learning about herself. It's just a very slow and cozy book about loving reading, browsing through the bookstore, feeling like you can stay up all night just reading, being surrounded by books. And when you meet someone and you talk about books and they tell you what their favorite book is, you feel like you can understand them on like a deeper level. Yeah, it's a very nice one. There are some, I guess, heavier themes, but they don't linger on it too much. Next, I have The Second Chance Convenience Store. I've spoken about this one before, but just in case if you're new here, this one's about an older woman who hires a homeless man to work at her convenience store. And every chapter, you sort of engage with a new character in that community. Everyone has their own story and struggles that they're going through. I felt like they're very relatable and very everyday, regular people type of struggles, which really resonated with me. It's another easy and short read. I thought it was a really enjoyable one, especially if you like this kind of category of books. And the last one I have is Welcome to the Hyunnam-dong Bookshop. I actually have not read this yet, but a lot of people have been recommending it to me, and I'm glad that I already bought it, but it's just been sitting on my shelf. I don't know what I'm waiting for. I was kind of reading so many of these cozy books and I wanted just a break from it, but now that I've taken a break, I'm actually in sort of a reading slump. Anyways, I won't say much about this because I haven't read it yet, but again, I've heard really good things. It seems popular amongst this genre of books, so I think it's a safe bet. If you read any of these books, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And if you have any other recommendations as well, I'm always open to hearing them. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good week.